Yo, it's your girl Miss Chidee for the Underground Radio Show, and today she back in the building. Even though she had to leave last week, but we ain't gonna hold that against her. What up, Bree?
Hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? It's Brita Dawn, your big mouth bestie. How y'all doing?
And we got El Cap on board,
What's up? What's up, y'all?
and we got a special guest in the building today. Photographer, curator. What else can I put on there?
A&R, journalist, host. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Y'all give it up for Thought Poet.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
What's good?
I'm good. I'm good. Just trying to stay focused, trying to keep working. So, how about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cool,
Alright.
cool.
So we gonna jump right into it.
All right, sure.
All right. Everybody wanna know what's up with the name Thought Poet? What's the concept?
Oh, so that's simple. So like I think this was 2006 to 2010. I went to Harlan Community Academy, so it was kind of like a social media thing. I got on Facebook. At the time, and I don't know if y'all are really familiar with CPS schools like that, but Harlan was kind of like it was a very violent school to go to. You know what I'm saying? So we weren't as bad as quote unquote CVS was as back in the day, but we weren't good like a Simeon or something like that. So yeah, I would say that's just kind of came about. I was kind of one of like the only kids that did poetry at my high school, and people like knew that I did like poetry or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. Yeah.
Okay. Now I got in tune with you. Like I done seen you somewhere before. I don't know where. So when I was doing the unsocial aesthetics with Jabria, I'm like, wait, I done seen him somewhere. I just don't know where, but I done seen him somewhere. And it's like going to your link tree, getting a little more about you.
Mhm.
It's like, how did you get started?
So my grandma actually was she is an artist. Her artist name is Phoenix Rising.
Okay.
So she's a doll maker, soft sculpture artist, painter. She was kind of the one who got me into, I guess, like the arts, if you will. So, she was pretty much woke before it was cool to be woke. You know what I'm saying? So she had me at all the different art festivals coming up, and I dare say that kind of stuck on me. So as I was going into high school, I started doing different programs like True Star Magazine, where you were learning multimedia programs. And, I was running a website called the Lyrical Lab, which inspired Lyrical Lemonade. And so we were talking about, Chance the Rapper, Southwood, No Name, Film Dot. I could really go on, like artists of like the last 15 years. And so, we were just kids, you know what I'm saying? So I always knew how to do photography. So like I started with like an iPhone on some like I think I had like the iPhone 3 or some shit. So I don't know if I pressed it. But basically like from there I just started like, doing cloud photography, but I was also doing concert photography. So I think my first big show was Raekwon when he was at the Shrine. If y'all remember the club, the Shrine. So I got a chance to interview him. Shout out to Brianna from Swank PR. And those were like some of my first photos. I took a photo of him holding one of our lyrical lab stickers. So when the lyrical lab went on hiatus around like 2015, 2016, that's when I really started taking photography seriously. And I think that's when I also noticed that every time I would take photos of people, uh, those people would tell me in like other like future encounters, like, hey, like all these people knew who I was because you took my photo. And at first I'm just like, that I mean, that's a photographer thing, so that makes sense. But no, I would really be giving people the sauce when I would take their photos. And so I think that's something that I think I'm even still realizing like now. But I would say that might have been 2015 when I really started realizing that because I started doing a lot of organizing work with organizations like BYP 100 and Black Lives Matter, Shy, and Good Kids Mad City. So I was doing a lot of the protest photography that you were seeing. So like the Chicago State University protests and different things like that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much when I started seeing that my photography was necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because in like 2020, the Field Museum, Chicago Reader, Southside Weekly, like all of these platforms were reaching out to me, and they were like, "How are you like present in these moments?" Because this again was like when the previous mayor was like doing what she was doing, and this was right after George Floyd had been murdered. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of like interesting energy in the city. You know what I'm saying? So these platforms kept reaching out and being like, like we would love for you to just, tell your story or, build with us with your photography or your journalism or whatever. And I'm just like, all I'm doing is going outside. I'm just popping out. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't realize that. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that was a big reason why I got really deep into my photography because we don't have a lot of historians and individuals in Chicago that really are able to tell, I dare say, the eras. And I think that's what people started referring to me as, which I was kind of confused at first because I'm like, wait a minute, am I like a Dilla? You know what I'm saying? But then when he actually met me, he was like, bro, I know of you because of Inglewood's Art Collective and Vic Spencer and Tanika Johnson, and you're in the story. And I was like, God damn, okay. That is what I am then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Oh, do you still do poetry?
Yeah, very much so. Funny enough, when I first came into the Chicago music scene, this was like 2011. I was doing spoken word. You know what I'm saying? And so I was blessed to even just conversate with people like Jay Ivy and Malik Youssef. So they were like my big inspirations coming into the music scene. And so again, Vic Spencer, he was the one who really like put me on game about the Chicago music scene at the time. So this was like 2011. And he was telling me about Brainiac Society. So this is like knowledge from kids in the hall. If you're familiar with them. And so he introduced me to them people. So this was Renzel, Via Rosa, The Mind, Shondo, and Michael Anthony. So this was like the people who was working with like Smino, Raven Lene, Monty Booker, Mick Jenkins. And again, I was not really at the time thinking like, my spoken word was important because I'm meeting artists that were way more advanced than me. You know what I'm saying? I come from Chatham, you know what I'm saying? So I'm meeting guys that are around like, Chance the Rapper and the producers and the musicians that be around, those type of guys or whatever like that. So I still do poetry. I think my poetry is in like my work. You know what I'm saying? I think my last gallery I did, Lil Chica from Thule Park, was a good example of my poetry being in my photography while at the same time it's its own thing. So.
All right, okay. Yeah. I like that.
Now you got your answer.
Yeah. I really wanted to know if that was the whole perception of it all. Like I didn't want to assume anything. I wanted to hear it, from you.
Yeah, it definitely came from I think even the name like kind of like fitting on me came from like the people in the hood kind of seeing me on like the internet and knowing I was like the quiet artsy kid like when I was growing up. I lived right across the street from Thule Park, which was right down the street from where Mick Jenkins lived. So like I was known for having an artistic grandma. You know what I'm saying? So it was like as I got older and started doing poetry and journalism and all of this stuff, people from the block was like, yeah, like that's you. That was always you. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like getting, I dare say, their nods of confidence was what helped me be like, no, like this is really who I am. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on live right now. I got other people like, oh, what's good? Hits.
Hey y'all.
Julio, what's good? What's good?
So, with that being said, because this one loves poetry,
Okay. Hey.
he drops something real quick. It's a quick piece.
Yeah, no, I ain't like
Say yeah, no, all right.
I would not be remembering anything. I would have to definitely read it. Damn. Yeah, no, I would definitely have to read something. But if you really want to read any of my work, you can really just go on my Instagram. Like most of my posts are like, just different photos from different things I've shot. But there's different like series that I have. So the art of dream trapping, that was a term I came up with like 2013 or something like that. And this was really me just like capturing moments in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, that's what's up. Now, the next question. I know you do a lot of work with swim team.
Okay, yeah.
How has that been?
Man, so funny enough, I think I got wind of the swim team. First, I heard about Hef Banks first.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Shout out Hill.
Yeah,
Shout out to hell.
Hef Banks is definitely ahead of his time as far as like the type of artist that he is, because he's a curator and he's also an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he really believes in teamwork. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just going off of meeting him and meeting JTE at 35th Studios.
Shout out to JT.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Good dude, good dude. But basically, have let me know about the swim team. So at the time, this was Monty Sykes, Westside Don, Crypto Dex, oh man, Howie Stacks. That's what I'm saying. They weren't even a part of it yet. So this was like, I dare say, some of the original lineup. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I just really like appreciated Hef's want for collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Like, he understands that the music scene has kind of always been a place where we like put each other down if we feel like we're not getting as much shine as the other person. And I feel like he's been combating that with all of his efforts. So even with our last showcase on August 25th, Solar 5, who made a lot of beats for Mick Jenkins, said Swim Team is the next Wu-Tang. And it's funny because, but here's the crazy part, because I know that the Swim Team is a newer group or newer artists to the music scene, so it's like they didn't know. I don't think they understood in that very moment like how deep that was, that Solar 5 said that, because the last person Solar 5, I dare say, like created a protege of was Asha Omega, who just opened up for Rhapsody, and she's gonna get ready to open up for Earth Gang like this month. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this nigga really know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like seeing the swim team learn as they're in real time being given this cosign. Is like, this is why we have to keep creating moments where we can like uplift these artists, whether you've been in the game, you just got in the game, and really just teach each other the history. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, as long as I've been in the Chicago music scene, I'm still learning things, and I feel like that's because there wasn't people before us that really was like preaching and telling us who was doing it before us. You know what I'm saying?
And I felt that's why I was just kind of talking to something about before, how like we kind of like crabs in a barrel, how people always bring each other down. And like lately, like even speaking to them and speaking to you, it feels good to have somebody that you see that's really trying to help others, and like not really care about being outshined, or, just spitting knowledge so that everybody can grow together or everybody can eat together. I just think that that's such a beautiful thing, especially in a city, because a lot of times when our story is being told, it's always something negative, or like to make people like kind of scared to visit the city and stuff like that. So when it's inspirational stories, or it's stories where, or just as a Chicagoan period, just to know like it is people out here, or it is places or that you can go and still like be inspired and be uplifted, and still have people that have your back, and still have people that want to see you win, or want you to eat with them, and like just not be be against you.
I mean, it really start with us, you know what I'm saying? And I think it starts with, the platforms that might not be as bigger or as big as the platforms that I dare say are like bringing the celebrities in, you know what I'm saying? So like platforms like Windy City Underground, it should be as important as a WGCI. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should be able to collaborate with each other, and there's no like, I dare say envy or jealousy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you've been in the Chicago music scene for any type of time, there was a big shift in 2020. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying like the trenches was interacting with like all sides of the city. You know what I'm saying? And so from that time to now, there's been a lot of like acknowledgement of what needs to happen in Chicago. So you got, Golden Child and the Unity Movement, you got Studio Shapes and Rico Shy and J Baby, you got Jublick and Kink Lightning and Solar 5 and Asha Omega and all of these individuals that are really coming together and just trying to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Speaking of collaborations, now you got Unsocial Aesthetics. When I say they do a lot of collaboration work, it's a lot that they put out right now.
Oh, damn, for real?
I want to know, how did you, and shout out to Jabria.
Yeah, shout out to Jabria.
How did you and Jabria ended up like getting together and collaborating on Prosperity Talks?
So me and Jabria knew each other from going to the Institute of Art. when it was in Chicago before it closed down. So we were definitely one of those art kids that were
What
there.
year you went there? Because I graduated from there.
Yeah, I definitely didn't graduate. Yeah, I'm trying to think. This might have been 2013, 14, or something like that.
Hey, we might have crossed paths there
Probably,
because that's probably where I know
yeah,
you from.
yeah. So that was pretty much where me and her, you know what I'm saying, got tapped in. And I would say throughout the year, she just really like, stay connected to me. You know what I'm saying? So another mutual friend we know, Angel Illustrati, well-known tattoo artist. He made sure he reconnected us at one point, and I would say even in the last couple of years, she just really respected what I was doing with my creative agency and social aesthetics. And again, we've always had really like deep conversations about the need for infrastructure in Chicago when it comes to more creative agencies, marketing agencies, record labels, A&Rs, just like real institutions and platforms that are helping the creatives and curators, make more of a polished experience for the public. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to actually curating shows and putting together albums and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, I would say she asked me to help shoot some of her first Prosperity Talk episodes, and I think it kind of went from there.
Cool, because I just knew Jabril, like, we connected when we both worked at House of Blues.
Oh, that's fire.
And I'm like, okay, we started talking because she did, that's how I know her from doing tattoos.
Okay, right.
And then found out that she did music too.
Yeah.
And when she hit me up about being on an episode of Prosperity Talks, I was like, oh,
yeah,
on a podcast now. Okay.
Yeah, Jabria is very she's a very unique person, you know what I'm saying? Her brother is a very well known curator and creative, you know what I'm saying? And she's kind of gone off and done her own thing, started her own thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's really to just help bring more elevation to the Chicago music scene. You know what I'm saying? She does a lot of her work out west. And again, even with the people she's interviewed in the last like 3 or 4 episodes, has been, curators like yourself, just people from the community and from Illinois that, have a passion for the arts. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah shout out to Bria.
Shout out to Bria.
Yeah.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick music break. Then we're going to come back, break. I have some more questions for you. I don't know.
I'm with it.
But we're going to see.
Open
It's your girl, Miss Chidee. This is the Underground Radio Show on Lady City Underground. Your music, your station.
Radio breaks.
Yo, we back. We gonna get right back into it. Hey, Brady, keep going with these questions.
I thought y'all was about to talk about the music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, talk about the
Come on.
music.
We was just talking about Jubilee and Vino. Come on, what we got?
Man, I'm gonna just say this. The Chicago music scene right now is in a very interesting place. Everybody is rapping, everybody is putting music out, and it's really beautiful because I feel like if you was around throughout the blog era, which I think they're saying like 2011
Yeah,
to like 2019,
yep.
like the atmosphere was very different. You know what I'm saying? Um, People can really pop out. You know what I'm saying? Because Chicago is a very gangster city, so I don't think everybody was able to do their thing back then. You know what I'm saying? But now it's a lot different. So now there's a need for quality. You know what I'm saying? And I would dare say people that really know what they're doing are starting to step up. So artists like Jubilee, they starting to step up. And I think he may arguably be the best rapper in the scene. I ain't even
Uh
finna host.
oh.
I mean, look, we could talk about it. If you need more proof, listen to his last project, Get Rich or Die Sliding. Dude got Femdot, Tariq Hakeem, Panamera P, Asho Omega, Tony Bennett. Like he got the city on this project. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that project is like an embodiment of 15 years of his music. You know what I'm saying? So you got people like him, you got people like Solar Five who just put out his project earlier this year. Please don't get cocaine in the faders. That got a write up by Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of amazing artists doing their thing. The person you just mentioned, Vino, I've heard about them. They've been doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, I think the rest of 2025 going into 2026, we finna just really see an elevation in what we call quality music. You know what I'm saying? So we still finna get the turn up music and all that, but we finna get real storytellers. You know what I'm saying? And they already are doing their thing, but they really finna just start popping out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm starting to see right now. With it's like you got the conscious rappers,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that are lyrical that are all hanging together. Then all the ones that do the turn up music are all hanging together, and it's just like I'm just waiting on that right time when somebody decides, hey, let's do one big event to bring everybody together.
So
Because it's
yeah,
like juking is coming back. So that's and everybody want to do a juke song now. So
I think, and again, I think this goes into kind of what you were saying earlier about there being a lot of content creators that are coming to Chicago and stuff. I think people are very much so excited and thirsty to learn about Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we haven't had like historians in our city that aren't gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying? We've only had DJ academics who's only talked about the violence for years. You know what I'm saying? So we are just starting to get people that are reinforcing what Chicago has done on all lanes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's gonna be a lot more just authentic music that's gonna be coming. You know what I'm saying? Like Do or Die just put out a music video.
yeah, 20 years later.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
and
it's like when you really think about, what is hip hop and when hip hop was even created and how it's only just 50 plus years old, Chicago played a huge part in hip hop being formed. You know what I'm saying? Like when we even think about the hip house era that was in Chicago, and this was right before hip hop was born. And so the hip house era died down, and then all of a sudden you started hearing all of these New York MCs rapping over house music. You know what I'm saying? So we were already off of that. We were already going into the era like Snipers and the legendary Traxter and Do or Die and Twister. Like when we think about those, like that's our like signature sound. You know what I'm saying? So when you think of folks like Jublick, you know what I'm saying? Like they are a mix of the trenches while at the same time they represent the artistry of what comes from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Then we used to have Georgia's music room back in the day too. So it was like we had places where we could go and listen to Chicago artists, but it still was like vibes and good vibes and stuff like how like Swim Team kind of doing now. We had Georgia's music room back then, and they used to bring artists
And
from all over
he's
the world.
coming back. he's coming back. I had the privilege of talking with him last year with Sister Africa and Water, and he talked about his music room, about to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like this year, he talked about doing a documentary. You know what I'm saying? Saba and No ID had the West Side location as their album cover. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we talk about just really learning the histories of Chicago, like it's almost like once you learn it, it becomes a weapon. Because then most niggas will look at you and they'll be like, "That's insane." That gospel music and blues music and drill music was all created from Chicago, but it's like that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like we really are them guys. Like we really are the mecca of creation. You know what I'm saying? That really means that when you really want to trace back what's been created or what's been even molded, it's normally been influenced by some Chicago shit. Like it's just that's
and
what
it's
it
never
is.
going to be put out like that because mostly they try to give all the shout outs to New York or all the shout outs to Atlanta and like don't forget about Chicago.
No, but in real time, and we can talk about it, but they still they steez from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we and I mean we could just go back even in the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about terminologies, when we talk about steez, and we talk about like choice of production or choice of sound, like they've constantly borrowed from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we always half-ass giving our flowers. So it's like we're giving, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, my apologies. But no, like we or get a compliment, but then like somebody will be like try to like shoot us down. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you can't talk about the bad without the good and all of that. I feel like Chicago has never just fully received this flowers. You know what I'm saying? That's why you had Chirac be such a terrible movie, because Spike Lee was really not just against Chicago, but he was against the energy that comes from Chicago. Like I said, Chicago is a gangster city. We've always been that first. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to anything that comes from us, it has a certain type of attitude, a certain type of energy. That's why when Chicago folks go other places, everybody always be like, "Oh my God, you from Chicago?" Like they just can't believe how we carry ourselves. And you could have been a quiet person
and they're gonna
being here and automatically assume that
literally, yeah. And they also automatically assume we're from Oakland. Like every one of us is from like
and it's like if you really just take a drive, like on some, just like me and my lady, we'll just drive, around and like go up down Cottage Grove or go over east and just look at the architecture that's in Chicago. Like people wouldn't believe that some of the most beautiful places in the world are on Chicago blocks. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta just be willing to adventure and don't be lacking, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? Like just understand that our city is made up of so many different cultures and so many different spaces and just energies. You know what I'm saying? That you really would go over east and then go northwest and feel like you in two different states.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That, a lot of times when they talk about our city because it's so big, they'll call it over second one state. And also, me and my family we were just speaking on this how Chicago has, I think, one of the 5 biggest cities for the architecture and all of the skyline. And also, we have every nationality. Like we have pretty much every nationality just in our city.
I mean, that's why the president's on there with us right now. Like, we just truly are a magnificent city, and I think when it comes to, I dare say, us following trends, we don't follow trends.
We make them all up. Like everybody really just steal our stuff. Like we make them up.
You know what I'm saying?
Trend, and then it just everybody take off.
And it's like I think, and I feel like going into 2026, that's going to change. You know what I'm saying? Like having conversations like this where we're even just having the dialogue is going to make us really challenge ourselves to document our own history back. You know what I'm saying? Like it is really falling on us to do that work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's just in time because you have the country trying to erase Black and brown accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now more than ever, it's the time to be a storyteller. It's the time to really, have an authentic approach to how you like uplift these experiences from Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Now, can you tell us any upcoming events, shows that you have coming up, and how can the people get in tune with you?
For sure. So as far as following up or following me, you can follow Unsocial Aesthetics. So that's Unsocial AES on Instagram. You can follow me at Thought Poet. So Thought Poet 77. We have our open mic coming up on September 27th. We announced at our showcase that we're working on an album. That's going to be just like uplifting all of the different artists that we've been building with and collaborating with. We got some surprises coming up, some really dope surprises coming up. I'm really excited about those just because I feel like it's going to be really necessary when we talk about like reading and like looking at our history. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
a lot of definitely cool things on the way. K by Dean has an album that's gonna be on the way. Solar Five has another album that's on the way. Jublick is still pushing his album. He got some more surprises coming up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all heard it here on the Underground Radio Show. Oh, thank you for stopping by today.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Now, next week, we're going to continue with some of his favorite people. We got the whole swim team.
Yeah, shout out Wilson.
Hey, Hell, Niji, Westside Dunn. I don't know how y'all are to fit in here, but we're going to make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
Same
So,
way for
love
Spanish
y'all.
packing cars, they can be in here like Mexican.
I don't know what Cap just said, but yeah. Hey, until next time, I'm your host, Miss Chidee.
Free to dime.
El Capo, the marketing cheese.
And once again, thoughtful and thank you
Thought
for
for it,
stopping
thought
by.
for it.
Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Until next time, this is the Underground Radio Show on Windy City Underground, your music, your station. Until next time, Yiddy!